fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Welcome to Filmoscopy Podcast,
Volume 2,
episode
64.
question mark.
The question mark from Mortal Kombat 2 in the tower, like, who's that could be?
Who's that jumping out the sky?
R-E-Y, Mysterio.
So
Here we go.
Today we are talking about the Hunger Games, and joining me is Lance Emilian Dude. Live and in person, by the way.
What? I'm in person. We are unfortunately missing our third nut, Owen. And, well, this episode, by the episode comes out, Owen will be back on the show. But, yeah, he's currently in Mississippi making a lot of money out on the farm. And he's going to bring us back some. And he's going to help make our podcast big, beautiful, and money-making.
So, yeah, we're talking about the Hunger Games. So
The games of hunger.
Before we get started or get into our experiences with this movie, I'll go over the information like I typically do. So, The Hunger Games was directed by Gary Ross. It's based on the novel of the same name by Suzanne Collins. It stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Lenny Kravitz, Donald Sutherland, and Stanley Tucci.
And Stanley Kubrick back from the dead.
He was revived just for this special occasion. It premiered in theaters on March 23rd, 2012. The movie runs for 2 hours and 22 minutes.
A little too long.
It had a budget of $78 million and a box office draw of $694.4 million, sparking the franchise and being
franchise here.
Being
the
one
John
of,
Cena thing.
Yeah, it led to it being one of the few non-Twilight, young adult novels adapted into film series that actually made it all the way through the entire thing, because around the same time you had Percy Jackson, which I believe they only made 2 movies of that. You had Divergent, which they tried to go the same route as a lot of these other things like Harry Potter and Twilight and Hunger Games, where the last book was supposed to be split into 2 movies, but they actually only ever got the first part of that out and never finished the series. I'm trying to think that Maze Runner was around the same time.
Blade Runner was around the same time.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, no. 5 years later, Blade Runner 2049. Yeah.
But yeah, my point is that this is, like I said, one of the very few young adult novel-based film series that actually go all the way to completion.
And that's a very sharp point you made.
Very sharp point, indeed. Like the spear that killed Rue.
Which one's Rue?
This little girl that she's teaming up with.
The one she put the flowers with?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes. I know we're talking about Rue 21, the store.
Yeah, Rue 21, the store. So movies, and actually, as of a couple weeks ago, they put out a teaser for the film adaptation of the prequel novel, which I'm looking forward to. So, that all said, what is your first experience with this movie?
Well, this was my first experience with this movie, but it wasn't my first experience with a game that deals with hunger, because I have once played Hungry Hippos. But this is my first time ever watching this movie. I had seen previews I had seen probably like a few interviews of Jennifer Lawrence talking about the subject, only a few minutes. I didn't sit there and watch like down a whole 30-minute interview, but I knew like things from a few gifs that I've seen, like salute, and it's that little salute where she kisses the 3 fingers and then sticks up her butt, and all that. So yeah, that's my first experience with it, was watching it with you today. So
I think, if I remember correctly, my wife and I went and saw this in theaters when it first released.
And you're like, finally, I have a book series I can like other than Twilight.
Yeah, I love Twilight.
You read both the books twice, didn't you?
Well, there's 4 books, and I've read them all once.
Oh, okay. I thought you weren't read them twice. What
No.
books did you read twice? Was it the Harry Potter books?
I've read the Harry Potter books multiple times. I can't even count how many times. Mostly because I can't count that high.
Well, I mean, also it kind of describes your lack of vocabulary. You're just some hick from Tennessee.
No, but I mean, I read the first Harry Potter book in like 2nd grade, and
how old? The first book came out, what, 99?
Yeah.
Roughly. So I was 11. I would have been in like 6th grade. So yeah, for 4 years apart, that makes about sense.
So yeah, we went and saw this in theaters. I loved it, and it just so happened that
Did you want some more of it?
Yeah, definitely. My wife actually had the novel. So,
at the time, your wife.
Well, my still current wife.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought we were talking about your other wife. She doesn't know about it. She won't listen to this. We're good.
She's literally in the next room listening to us talk.
No, I think she's gone now. Divulge your secret to everybody. Don't cut that out.
So anyway, she actually had the novels at the time, and I read them all of them. There are 3 of them. I read them before the second movie released. So anyway, initial impressions. How did you like this movie?
No.
Or you didn't like this movie?
I don't hate it like I do most of your movies. I'm joking. No, I'm just joking. To be honest, I mean, we were watching with one of your friends, Carrie. Shout out to Carrie. And to be quite honest with you, I know we made jokes throughout the movie. It wasn't because I was in some kind of mood. I would have been bored watching this movie by myself anyway. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, I mean, it wasn't as long, but, Apocalypse Now is a boring movie.
Yeah.
Trying to think something else is boring. That's why I try to stay away from my longer movies I want to watch because they are boring at times. Like The Shining. Brittany watched The Shining with me and she thought it was super boring. And which is, it's a classic movie at this point. It is kind of boring you watch it though.
Yeah.
Compared to the newer stuff. Now watching it, I wasn't a huge fan of this story. Like I wanted to know the story because obviously I looked up the characters after we got done on Wikipedia just to have a general overview. Mm-hmm. But I got that out of my system. It wasn't out of like, oh man, I got to do this. I want to know what happens. It's more like a completist thing. Okay, so what happens?
Yeah.
Because no one other than Jennifer Lawrence and Woody Harrelson are really strong in their roles, to be honest with you. There's a reason why Little Thor Liam Hemsworth is not a huge actor like his brother because he's not very good.
Little Thor Hemsworth.
I like Donald Sutherland as an actor.
I think he's excellent in this movie.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a lot in it though.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he's obviously a character that comes into play a lot more in the future movies, just because he has to be more involved. Mm-hmm. Here, he plays the role that he's given very well, but he's supposed to be kind of not directly involved with the cast at hand.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
so
he's supposed to be like I know he becomes more involved as the story progresses.
Right
there, as you hinted around to it, there is more to the story that the movie's hinting around to, because obviously you can't fit a 300-page book roughly.
200 or 300, I can't remember off the top of my head.
You can't fit all that into a 2-hour movie and keep people interested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. It's like it's the reverse of the original Star Wars movies. When someone asks you or asks me, why do you like Boba Fett? I'm like, well, in the movies, he doesn't do much. But in the books, he does a lot. Well, the movies are the baseline, and then the books try to fill in gaps and make stories that expand the Star Wars universe. Whereas this is based off a book, and there's a lot of details that would have made more sense to me if I had read the book before, which I'm not going to because I don't read. But, so I mean, that's a long-winded answer. It didn't interest me because I'm not interested in that source material, that type of deal. And I understand this is more aimed at a teen/young adult book at the time. Especially, well, this movie came out in 2012. I'm assuming this book came out in the mid-2000s.
Let me check. I don't think the book came out that much earlier than the film did. 2008 was when the first novel released.
Okay, so I mean, I didn't know how close it would be because I mean, some of these books now are like they get a book and then all of a sudden you get a movie like within a year later. It's like, oh man, this is great. But so for me, it's just there's some things. There's meat on the table for the movie. If I was interested in the material, I would go back and want to read the books. But there's nothing in this movie that made me. I sound like a snobbish asshole.
There's nothing that grabbed you enough.
There's nothing that grabbed me. It's like, okay, keep going with this. I'll continue to watch the movies because you want to do them for future podcasts. I'm not trying to be like a wet blanket to that. I mean, I got through the Twilight movies. I can get through anything.
Yeah. And
this was nowhere near as bad as the worst Twilight movie, and it's nowhere near as bad as the best Twilight movie. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. But it's just one of those things. I like Donald Sutherland, that one guy who is the main bad guy from Ghost Rider.
Let me see.
He's the one with the Tony Stark beard.
Tony Stark beard. Yes, right here in the cast list. Tony Stark beard.
Okay, cool.
No, his that's Stanley Tucci, right? No, Stanley. That's not Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci's the host of the the show.
Well, he dies. You can kind of look that up at the end. Just look up in the plot, and it shows he goes in the room and.
I'm surprised he's not part of the. Oh yeah, there he is, Wes Bentley. Also in films such as Ghost Rider, The Four Feathers, P2, and Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, he. Like I said, I've seen. I recognize he's. We talked about American Beauty. Did you mention that?
American Beauty.
American Beauty. It's a porno. Dude's got a nice head of hair, which you notice when you don't have a nice head of hair like myself anymore, and he has a weird fake beard painted on. And then Donald Sutherland looked like he just rolled out of bed for this role. His beard is kind of long, but it's pushed back over his ears. Like everything he has is almost combed back. It's kind of weird, but it's because he just looks like he's homeless. But yeah, other than that, like I said, there's nothing enough. But there's a lot of plot conveniences. The deaths of the assholes in this of the group of kids are not satisfying. You want more because, okay, when you book a story, I say book because I'm using wrestling terms. Generally speaking, you want to send the crowd home happy. So I knew with the first movie, it wasn't going to lead off with a cliffhanger. That's usually what they leave the second movie for, like Empire Strikes Back, Last Jedi. When you book a story and you make somebody extremely unlikable, you want to have something of equal importance happen to them that results in a bad person's death, or even more so because it's satisfying for the crowd. Because me and you discussed it as the movie was going on. The last Twilight movie, they have that fake out battle royale with everybody dying and stuff like that, and then you see that one character, I don't care to know her name, she's played by Dakota Fanning, and she's a mega bitch in the first of the part two of the fourth movie. Yeah. And she dies in that, and it turns out it was a fake out, nobody died. Right. And it was the most unsatisfying ending to anything, because at least kill her. And then what happens with the death and these characters, it's literally one stroke and that's it. But you see the bad guy snap a kid's neck who was part of his allies, quote unquote. And then you see him, he literally gets shot in the hand, he falls off the thing or gets knocked off the thing. And then the dogs are wrestling with him. He's like, no, no, no. And when the killing shot happens, you don't even see it happen. It's off screen.
Yeah.
But like I said, like, you know, and then your friend Carrie was saying, oh, well, maybe they cashed in that one kill for the PG-13 for the kid getting his neck snapped. You don't save it for that. You save it for the ending with this douchebag.
Yeah, I mean it.
And hitting that douchebag, we'll just get into it when we get to later.
Yeah, we'll get into it when we talk about the characters.
So Carrie, I was gonna say Cody. I was about to say, what was your first impression, but you'd already done it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. I do like a lot of the portrayals by the actors. You know, Jennifer Lawrence, Donald Sutherland. I mean, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks is great.
I forgot about Elizabeth. Looking like Lady Gaga.
I think that I do agree with the off-screen kills, like sometimes not being satisfying. Like when the one guy shows up and saves Katniss at the cornucopia toward the end of the film, and he kind of like slams her into the wall a couple times, and she's dead.
He kills that character like Katniss.
No, he saves Katniss by killing that other character.
Yeah, but you didn't mention there was another character. It sounded like
sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. That was just the thing.
Yeah, but when he slams that other character into the wall, which I don't remember her name,
but he only slams her in there like
twice, and then she's dead, and
you hear a neck snap.
Yeah, I think that it would have been more satisfying if maybe he like grabbed her by the head and like maybe slammed her head into the wall a few times to really
show his back and show him snapping something like her neck.
Yeah,
because right before that she was cutting a heel promo on Jennifer Lawrence's character.
Yeah,
she had her foot in her leg in her throat, like a foot in her hand. She was like pinning her down like a spider monkey, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your little friend got killed. Guess what? We're gonna kill you." Yeah. And all this other shit. She was just cutting this promo, and then she's just like, bam, bam, snap, and she falls down. Like, that's not satisfying. Yeah. And then, I mean, I wanted to like that dude,
but he's not on screen enough to really.
You see him on screen like
a handful of times,
like literally probably 45 seconds. And then he dies off screen. You're like, oh man, he got killed. Like, what?
He dies off screen. The only other time you really see him is when you see like the preliminary stuff, like when they're getting ready for the interviews and that sort of thing.
And I didn't even notice him at all. No offense to him.
Yeah, I mean, but he's not supposed to be a major character in the story. It's just, except for that one moment, really. And the only reason he saved her is because she did what she did for Rue, you know, with friend, the flowers and all that.
The friend she developed. But another thing, like at the end, when we get that psychopath looking dude, he's like a young Dolph Lundgren. Mm-hmm. So he's young Drago from Rocky IV. Have you ever seen any of the Rocky movies?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. Okay. Well, the first 6, I haven't seen like Creed or anything.
Creed's really good. I hadn't seen Creed 2 yet. But when he was sitting there like holding him, he was like, I can do this, like I can drag him with me if you kill me. But he was also like, I've just been raised for this. He was trying to give like some kind of like baby face excuse for why he was doing the shit. It's
like a last second attempt, I guess, to make him more sympathetic,
or to add more depth to these characters. Because I mean, if you look at the movie, most of these kids that die, they're just plot devices. You know, it's like a Friday the 13th movie when he gets killed. Like half of them get killed in the first 30 seconds of the fight, which is halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
So, and they're just trying to set you up. The fucking one dude who becomes her lover,
Peter.
Oh, Peter. Is completely fucking useless. Like, he's like completely useless as a character. He's spineless. Like you were saying, like you didn't like him that well.
Yeah, I don't.
Not the actor, but
I don't like Peter that much, and that doesn't really change throughout the rest of the movies either.
But he also is just there to serve. I don't know how it is in the books. It feels like in the movies he is just to serve as like outside of Katniss's thoughts. Like it's just something to further her along.
He does play there is an important reason behind his character being around in the future movies and books.
Is it because he can make bread?
Yes, it is because he can make bread and
break bread. Break bread. Okay.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is the other like glaring issue with this film is, especially like in the first half of the movie, when the book really depends on a lot of like I don't remember if the book is from Katniss's perspective only, or if it's more like of a omniscient narrators type of thing. But
real quick, before we get to that point, I wanted to ask you this because it just popped in my head and I forget. We talked about it before. Remember you said that they were going to rewrite the Twilight books, but from the dude's perspective? Is that still happening?
They did.
Oh, she did do that?
Well, she did the first one, yeah.
Okay, did she do, she going to do the rest of them like that, though?
I don't know. I think that was just something that she did for the 10th anniversary.
Oh, gotcha, okay. So I was just thinking about it, because I thought you were saying that they're going to write all the books like that.
Well, okay, because I may be confusing what you mean. For the 10th anniversary, she rewrote Twilight, but she gender swapped everybody.
Okay.
Except for a couple characters. I think, Bella's dad is still the dad. It's not the mom instead. But it's a human boy and a female vampire, yeah. And then she did end up finishing that book that is Twilight, but it's all from Edward's perspective instead.
Sorry.
But yeah. But anyway, the first half of this movie, it suffers a little bit from Katniss's perspective because the book relies so much on just her inner thoughts and what's going on, and although I think she was trying to portray this for the film, a lot of it's kind of lost about what she's thinking when she's seeing the Capitol for the first time and all that, because she almost just has a blank stare on her face.
Like I said, she looked like she sat on a wet toilet seat. Her mouth's open, what?
I mean, there's only so much you can do. I understand, and it's not a Kristen Stewart situation where there's just no emotion at all, because you do see, especially later on, she can act well, and
I've seen the video.
There is a lot of emotion, but
you can say I saw the tape.
Kristen Stewart is
I don't want to see that tape.
Just completely deadpan for the entire Twilight franchise. But anyway, so I think again, I don't really like going over the plots anymore because it takes too long and I think it gets a little too boring. So what we'll do instead is we'll just talk about the characters in the film.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So the main character is Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence. She has a younger sister named Primrose Everdeen, played by Willow Shields, and she lives with her
Willow. That's for Alex.
Her mother, which they don't ever actually say her first name in the film, but she's played by Paula Malcolmson. You find out during the film that basically Katniss has been taking care of her family for a while because her father died in a coal mining accident. Because that's what her district is. There's 12 districts in the film. District 12 is basically responsible for coal mining.
The thing is, you said that it's pretty much been established, and maybe I missed it because we were cracking jokes throughout the movie. But she went to go hunt. I thought, okay, maybe she's gonna get food for the family. I didn't get the sense that her mom was a useless bum.
You find that out
until later on.
Well, you find it out the first time you really realize that is, they pretty much spell it out for you when her sister is picked as the tribute for District 12. She volunteers to take her place, and when they're saying their goodbyes, she talks to her mom, and she tells her, you can't shut down like you did when Dad died, because you're all she has left. So that right there tells you, Katniss has been taking care of them this whole time ever since. Mm-hmm. You also find out later that Katniss at one point, she already has met Peeta, because she was starving or whatever, and he threw some burnt bread to her in the pouring rain. But yeah, so Katniss, like I said, she volunteers in place of her sister, and she's the female tribute for District 12, alongside Peeta, who is, I can't remember the actor's name.
He's Brendan Fraser's nephew.
Is that from Journey to the Center of the Earth?
Yeah.
Peeta Mellark, played by Josh Hutcherson, who I don't think I've seen him in much of anything else, except for Journey to the Center of the Earth.
His career never blew up. He's been in Hollywood pictures, obviously, but it never blew up like Jennifer Lawrence's.
He was apparently in Zathura, and
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's like the space Jumanji movie they made. They also had Kristen Stewart in it.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
You don't know what Jumanji is?
I don't know what Jumanji is, but never.
The original sequel.
We don't have to go into it.
No, I'll go into it. The original sequel.
We ain't got to pad it up this much.
The original sequel to Jumanji was more like a spiritual successor, and it was Zathura, and it was basically just, here's a board game, but it's space related instead of jungle related. Okay. So, and Kristen Stewart, I know, gets frozen earlier in the movie, which is about the same as all of her performances in the film.
I was about to say that her facial expression probably didn't change.
No. Anyway, he's also in like Bridge to Terabithia. So, and I have seen that years ago. But anyway, he is the son of the baker for District 12. He is selected as the male tribute for District 12. He doesn't volunteer because he's a little wuss. And
well, to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't volunteer either.
Yeah, I wouldn't volunteer either. But
so we're wusses with him. We don't like him because he is us.
Well, he is a wuss. Even after he gets into the games. But
okay, well, he is a wuss in the whole fucking contrived love story.
Well, it's not contrived. There's a purpose for the love story too. The love story is there because they need help in the games, right? So the whole angle is, well, use your romance as a way to get yourself to
yeah, but it doesn't seem like she has feelings for him yet in this movie.
No, she doesn't.
And he is like, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Oh yeah, he has a crush. He's had a crush on her for a while. He even admits to watching her walk home every day from school or whatever.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh," I'm like, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is kind of creepy. But she doesn't have feelings for him.
He does it, and everybody goes, "Oh, I do it, and I get the cops called on me." I'm just kidding. That's a joke,
but yeah, like she doesn't have feelings for him. She has feelings for Gale, and you can tell that because at the end when
Baby Thor.
Yeah, baby Thor Hemsworth.
Okay.
And
because you say Gale, and I know that's a unisex name, but it's also like Gale. That's like a woman. I'm like, I don't remember a lesbian romance in this thing because I would remember that. That would have brought me into the movie probably.
But
it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, and then the whole thing with I don't know. It doesn't seem like she has feelings for Gale, other than the few times. I don't know, man.
She does. I mean,
you had to explain that to me that she had feelings for Gale. In the movie, it's like more like a friendship, and he probably has more of a crush on her than she has a crush on him.
Well, you can tell at the end when they come home, and they're out on stage. She sees him in the crowd, and like when they're holding hands and like all that, and she looks like at him almost in this way of like, I'm sorry,
I'm bad.
I'm sorry, I'm bad.
Oh, there's another thing too, real quick. I just thought about it. At the end, when she sees him and kind of gives like a half-side smile, like I'm sorry, and then that fucking loser raises her hand up, like, "Hey, look, I got her now. I got the prize." Like he's the fucking Highlander. There can be only one asshole, and you see her little sister on Gale's shoulders, and this whole thing was for her to protect her sister, and there's no follow-up on that. Her coming back home, and I looked it up on the thing. She can't go back to her family. They have to go live in that little village house or whatever.
Well, I mean, the village is still... My impression of the districts, even after reading the books, is that they're... If I remember correctly, obviously this is like what America used to be, but it's called Pan Am. And what has happened basically is this ocean has risen, and it's kind of like reduced the amount of land mass that you can actually...
So it's kind of like Waterworld.
So you have little districts. There's 12 districts around the capital. And so it's like, yeah, she has to go live in the village, but the village isn't that far away from the town.
Yeah, but the Wikipedia article says that she has to move on from her family now. But there's no follow-up with her sister.
No, she doesn't move on from her family because I think her family goes to live with her.
I didn't think that could happen. The Wikipedia was not clear.
Well, the Wikipedia was wrong, bitch.
Oh, well, I got to read this one thing real quick. Wikipedia article for Gale.
Oh, Gale.
Gail Hemsworth.
Gail.
Hold on. Or Gail Hawthorne.
Heights.
Let's see here. Gail is a Seam resident boy who's 2 years older than Katniss, shares her hunting skill, dark hair, olive skin, and gray eyes. Through hunting, they have become best friends, muscular and handsome. Gail has caught the attention of several girls in District 12. The last sentence says of his character bio on Wikipedia, he is also very good looking. They said that twice.
Yeah, well, obviously
somebody wrote that, but I just thought that was hilarious.
But yeah, so if I remember correctly, yes, she goes to live in the village, but her mother and sister also go with her to live there.
Well, she needs somebody to fucking spooge off her and be bums too. So. Her little sister gets killed. I know that.
Why would you ruin this for yourself?
Because I don't care about it. Look, something I did care about, and I already looked up the spoilers, was Obi-Wan Episode 6.
Obi-Wan Shalobi?
Yes, Shalobi. But
Shalobi.
This right here is like, this doesn't interest me. I just gotta look this up. Like, fuck it. So, it's like, I don't know, man. I wish there was more memorable. Like, the guy, the talk show host with the blue hair, the blue samurai hair.
Yeah.
I didn't even know his fucking name till you said it.
I mean, they say it in the movie, but again, we were all kind of like cracking jokes the whole time.
Yeah, but I also was able to pay attention to like details, like with the hunting. I'm talking about the people that got killed and all that stuff like that. I guess that there was 11 people left after they killed that little girl by the fire before you had said 11. So I've been paying attention to details. The characters weren't important enough for it. That's the thing, like about this movie. There's a lot of things that were just rushed to this thing. Mm-hmm. Jennifer Lawrence is a pretty decent character. She's a great actress. Her character Katniss is a decent character, but everything is like rushed to get to the next point, and it doesn't feel authentic enough in the movie. It feels like they're just plot devices getting you to it. I understand that's how every movie is, but a movie that's better written makes it feel authentic instead of like, well, this is the next part. Like I told you, like that dude I didn't like, the douchebag kid that got killed at the end. I told you he was going to get killed at the end. Yeah. They're setting him up to be the big bad guy, and that's like a paint by numbers type of point in the. I don't know how the book is in the plot, but
I'm pretty sure it goes in the same way.
Which I'm sure it does, but
it's been years since I've actually read it, but I'm pretty sure it ends up with those three in like the final showdown.
Yeah, but you said the final showdown was more gruesome, isn't it?
That's what Carrie said. I don't remember exactly because, like I said, it's been. I mean, hell, at this point, it's been
6 weeks since
12. Been 12 or 10 years since I've read the book. So,
and it's a lot about this movie is like paint by numbers, and it just doesn't feel like. Man, it just doesn't feel like. There's some things that are paint by numbers that are funny, and they're bad funny, but they know they're bad. Like we watched Commando, the last movie. That movie is straight up action movie by numbers, but when the people fucking made it, they knew exactly what they were going for. This is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. We gotta give them all the one-liners. We gotta make this fucking exuberant amount of like offensive killing and shit like that. Ramp everything up. It's like a fucking cartoon movie almost.
Yeah. And
they did that on purpose. And that movie, I feel like, earns it at the end. It's ridiculous. It knows it's ridiculous. It plays into it. It knows it's camp. So that's what makes a movie unlikable. And you actually like it. This movie right here is like, it does kind of feel paint by numbers, and it kind of feels like Twilight in that sense.
I don't agree with that, because Twilight is very like, oh, this is your typical like teen romance.
Okay, he's a 110-year-old virgin who has been stalking her. This dude is a virgin who's been stalking her in their own village, and all of a sudden she falls in love with him at the end.
It is.
Would you fall in love with me if I was stalking you like you didn't?
Well, no, but it is.
What if I tried harder?
I think a lot of it feels more like you're saying paint by numbers because we are so far removed from this film coming out, and there have been so many other movies now that have tried to do this same thing. If you want to see, to me, Hunger Games and Twilight aren't really the same. If you want to see stuff that's more like what Hunger Games is, then you look at things like Divergent and Maze Runner. Those movies, when I watched those, I was like, this feels like the Hunger Games, but not as good. Because it is that same sort of, Maze Runner. Oh, there's a bunch of kids, for some reason they're in this arena and they have to find a way to get out.
That sounds like Mad Max 3 Beyond the Thunderdome. I haven't watched that movie. I just know Owen hates it, and hopefully he listens to this episode. He's like, he says he gets to the kids and turns off the movie. He's never finished it.
Yeah, but I mean, both of those movies are, it's like kind of like a post fall of civilization or fall of the government type films, and like teenagers are being used as tools or whatever. Yeah. So it's, to me, those kind of take what Hunger Games did and do it worse. Yeah. But I think that,
I bet you they're all made by different studios.
It's interesting to me because the Hunger Games itself, when you compare it to the other films that come later, it is very surface level. It's like, we need to introduce you to these characters. We need you to understand the past of what's happened in this world. But everything that's happening in the Hunger Games is teeing up for what's coming later. Because there are deeper repercussions as to the events in the film itself. Like what they are leading to. The fact that she, you see part of it in this film, Rue dies, and she kind of like gives her a little ceremonial type
song
setup. She
sings to her.
She sings to her, but like she lays her down with flowers around her and all that, and then she gives the salute that they have, and it spawns a riot back in District 9, where Rue is from. Or, is it District 9 or District 11?
11. No, yeah, they're in District 11.
District 11, yeah. So, but that isn't all that causes. It causes more problems for the Capitol later on down the road. It's just, this, you're just seeing it from the perspective of a teenage girl who is put in the Hunger Games and she has to find a way to survive. But all of the deeper stuff comes later. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully it does, because that would be cool.
I mean, it does, for sure. And like I said, Carrie was mentioning earlier today, like, he likes the second movie a lot better. And I think, I actually agree that the second movie is better because it does have deeper subject matter to it. I mean, not saying that a bunch of kids being put in an arena having to kill each other isn't, somewhat serious subject matter.
We just call that daycare here in Tennessee.
Oh, God. But yeah, so let's run through a few of the other characters.
The end. Lance is like sandbag this.
That's it.
I legit don't mean like sandbag. I was giving this movie a fair shot. We had fun with it, but if there was something, and there were, obviously at the end I was chanting for that dude to get killed, so I was invested into it enough. Mm-hmm. But I just, the payoffs of some of these characters. We
already briefly.
I wonder if like.
We touched on that, like, yeah, the payoff.
If there was a director's cut of this movie, that would be better, like longer,
yeah,
more because like I said, I mean, if they can make a 6-hour Lord of the Rings fucking movie, I could get a 3-hour. Like, if this movie fills in more details and like some of the things, like meant more, like the conversations between Donald Sutherland's character, who is the president, and Tony Stark, he's like, I like you. It's supposed to, they have like 2 or 3 conversations, but it's supposed to be deep. It's supposed to feel like and it doesn't.
And it is, because it's all very like.
Because he's like pretty much, Tony Stark, isn't he? Is he the program director pretty much?
He's the game maker. That's what they call him. He's basically the one that.
He's Innocent Man.
He's like, if you think of like a TV series showrunner, basically. Because in this world, the Hunger Games are presented as a television show for everyone to watch. Although the only ones that really enjoy it are the Capitol. But he's basically the showrunner of the games. Mm-hmm. And they say at one point that he's been doing it. I think this is like his 3rd one that he's done. And he screws up because he lets things get a little bit out of hand with Katniss, specifically.
How is that his fault, though?
Well,
I know he gets blamed for it, and he eats the poison blueberries.
That leads us back to what President Snow had told him, A little bit of hope is good. Too much hope is dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Because they give him hope in the games by saying, oh, well, if you and the other person from your district can leave. So then what does that lead to? at the end, when they feel like they're being cheated out of what they were promised, they're both kind of like, well,
we'll both die.
We're both going to die is basically a middle finger to the Capitol. And then they panic, or specifically he panics. He's like, no, you both win, you know. And it was like I told you, if both of them if they had killed themselves, it probably would have sparked even more issues as far as like a revolution starting, because then you have the districts who are like, no one walked away from this. It already is a messed up situation, but this is even more messed up than what we already had, because all hope is lost at that point.
Yeah.
So he loses that balance. That's why Snow blames him. So then you see at the end, his punishment, he's locked in that room, and the only thing in there to eat are the poison berries that they found, the same type that they found in the game itself. Which
I was kind of predictable almost. I saw the bowl and I was like, oh
yeah. Yeah, you said that they were the berries, and then they show you that they're the berries. But yeah, that was basically, you know, Snow killing him for, you know, as a punishment for screwing up.
Now, how long does it take for these games to take place? Is it every year?
It's every year, yeah.
That's exhausting.
And this is the 74th Hunger Games in this movie.
Good Lord. And you said this prequel is supposed to be
the prequel
about Snow?
Yeah, the prequel focuses on Snow. I can't remember if he's 16 or 18 in the book, and it takes place during the 10th Hunger Games. And it's actually interesting because they talk about how leading up to that point, the first 9 were pretty much, there's this empty Coliseum type thing. They just kind of throw everyone in there. They get picked and let them all slaughter each other, and whoever wins, wins. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of like follows, like, spoiler alert for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It kind of follows them trying out new things to make the games more entertaining because they actually want people to watch it. Mm-hmm. So
it's called booking your storyline. It's what, you know, Logan Paul does.
Yeah,
with all of his stuff. You know, all those expedition fights everybody wants to see. He books himself against.
And basically, that book is kind of, it gives you an idea of why later on you see, like, oh, we're doing all this fancy stuff. We're having them all roll out in chariots, and there's the interview show and all this other stuff leading into the games to get more people invested in it. Mm-hmm. So that book explains some of that. I guess that means, like I mentioned when we were watching the film, so Snow is something like, he's in his early 80s, I think, mm-hmm. in this. But just going back to the deeper meaning stuff, you know, like I talked about, he told the showrunner, the game maker, you know, a little hope is good, too much is dangerous. He told him, you know,
I also don't like underdogs.
I also don't like underdogs. I like you, but be careful. You know, and that was kind of his warning. Like, if you screw this up, mm-hmm. you're going to be punished for it. So, I mean, there is deeper meaning, but I think his character gets a lot better in the next movie because he does play a more prominent role in it. And like Donald Sutherland is great. So
yeah, he's a very good actor.
We kind of already talked about some of the other district.
Well, just the District 11, and everybody else is kind of nameless.
Yeah, a bunch of them are nameless. You have a redhead girl who you see that she like kind of just sneaks around, and I guess her plan is just kind of maybe to outlive everybody. It's hard to say just because you get very little, except she's sneaky and can get in and out of places without people noticing her. Then you have like the alliance of the group, which is all of the District 1 and District 2 people, which come from districts that specifically train the kids up until the point they're 18, and then they volunteer for the games.
Westside.
And they're all psychopaths, basically.
Yeah.
That kind of plays into, you dislike them so much because you see that they are just, you know, they're bloodthirsty, and you do want a more satisfying ending for to these characters as a reward for having to watch them be the way that they are.
I'd like to know what the end game was for, I'm assuming, the District 1, the blonde hair girl, Yeah, she was like, she makes a comment where the psychopath from District 1, the boy, I can't remember his name, it doesn't matter. He's the main bad guy of these kids, and he sticks his knife in the fire and pulls it out and kind of spits on it, and because he's amazed by it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Silly boys," and I'm like, "What end game do you think? You think you'll live happily ever after this motherfucker? He's going to kill you."
I think they know that, but I think that their plan is probably to eliminate everybody else. And
kids.
Yeah, I think that their plan was just to stick together, kill everybody else.
I think his plan was just to use everybody too.
Oh yeah, I mean. That's
me giving depth of the character. I think they're kind of.
I think they're kind of taught that anyway. Like they are conniving. That's part of it. I mean, you see that they're using PETA because they're trying to use him to find Katniss.
Yeah.
And they're using that one guy. I can't remember what district he's from, but the one guy that's protecting the pile of supplies toward the end. And that's the one that you were talking about. He snaps his neck, because he lets all that stuff happen. All this stuff gets blown up. But yeah, I think that's just their plan. I think that they're just teaming up, kill everybody, and then it's just the four of them facing off against each other. So yeah, like two of the characters we need to talk about. Woody Harrelson's character, Haymitch. He is the only District 12 victor in history. And he is also, because of that, he is the de facto mentor for the District 12 tributes. At the beginning, he's kind of comes off as, I don't care, you all never win anyway, I'm just going to sit here and get drunk.
But then it flips the next scene.
Yeah, because he's sober at breakfast, although he is drinking. He does start drinking. But he, because PETA is like pestering him basically to try and get information.
Yeah, and so that's when he starts to I'm going to go in here and do that. Well, the thing is, they don't even say that, like, I heard you huffing. I apologize. You're like, he's fucking ruining another point.
No. I was breathing because I ran up the stairs. I'm winning.
You ran up the stairs? Well, that scene, it's like he's pestering questions. They have that weird exchange where he tries to get up to say something to him. Woody Harrelson puts his weird looking foot on him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You made me spill my drink. I'm going to go in here and eat breakfast." And the other guys, he said, he almost feels like he tells Katniss, "Wait right here. I'm going to go talk to him."
Yeah.
And then the next scene, they're sitting there at the breakfast table talking, and she's just watching. Like,
yeah, I guess the implication is that he did actually get through to him the night before, maybe.
I thought it was the same day.
No, it's the next morning because he says, "Why don't you come join us and have some breakfast?" And she's like walking into the room. That's my impression is that it's the next day because it feels like it's late in the day when they leave District 12.
Got you. Okay. That's something. The passage of time in this movie is also not clear.
It is a little confusing.
It's a little muddled.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz is in the movie too.
Lenny Kravitz is in the movie. He's sent
American Woman.
He's
bum, bum, bum.
He's the District 12 style. I don't know. He's specifically Katniss's stylist because I think PETA has his own.
No, he gives PETA the flame retardant suit.
He does, but I think that because you see, they never really point the character out. But there's another character with Senna most of the time.
She has like green hair.
Yeah, I think that's actually PETA's specific stylist.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, let's see. But the other character, Haymitch, like I said, he does eventually come around to the idea that maybe these District 12 tributes actually do stand a chance and ends up genuinely helping them. As even when they're in the games, he kind of goes and plays politics with some people to get the medicine sent to Katniss after she gets that burn on her leg.
Mm-hmm.
But Woody Harrelson, I think he's great in this.
I think he's great in every role.
Yeah, he's pretty good in everything that I've seen him in. The other character I want to talk about is Effie. I think that's her name. Played by Elizabeth Banks. Yes, Effie Trinket, played by Elizabeth Banks. She is the Capitol. She is District 12's representative from the Capitol, specifically for going and selecting the tributes and all that sort of thing. it's funny because you really see the contrast of what the Capitol really prioritizes here versus what maybe people from the districts prioritize. Like she's going on when they first meet, she's going on and on about, oh well, there's all these lavish foods and beautiful ornate chandeliers and all this stuff, and they just do not care because all they can think about is we are being sent to our death. And even later on, they're trying to get information about the District 1 and District 2 tributes, and she's just like, oh, but they don't get special treatment. They stay in the same exact accommodations you do, and they don't even get dessert, but you do. She's almost like the comedic relief especially for a movie that is kind of dark. It is a little around.
She also looks kind of like a cross between Rita Repulsa, which also is played by Elizabeth Banks, and Lady Gaga.
I would say Lady Gaga and the Mad Hatter.
I would say Lady Gaga and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga from insert year here and Lady Gaga from insert year there.
Yeah, and I was gonna be like, if you combined the Mad Hatter and Captain Jack Sparrow, you would have Lady
Gaga. But yeah, so Elizabeth, what do you think of Elizabeth Banks in this movie?
I think she did a really good job. As an actor, her character is a miss for me. Like the comedic relief, I was making my own comedic relief in this movie because we talked about that earlier. But she can play absolutely anything convincingly. Oh yeah, she's very good in this film. She's good in most everything I've seen. I can't really think of a bad performance. I think it's unfortunate with her though. She's probably at this point pigeonholed in these character roles.
I don't know because she does a lot of directing now too.
Oh, does
so
she?
Yeah, so I don't think. Good. I think she probably is in a place where she just picks the roles that she's genuinely interested in doing.
If you want to see a movie where she's not like a character, like someone just like that, where she's the forefront, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Was that with Seth Rogen? She's really good in that movie, like really good. And of course, she's done a lot of other things I have not watched. I still haven't ever watched that Power Rangers movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never watched. I just never gave it a shot. I'm like,
Oh, and she is in the Pitch Perfect movies. She's pretty funny in those.
I have watched those. Fuck.
Yeah, she's one of the podcast hosts.
Yeah.
Her and that other guy that I can only think of. The only other role I can think of him in is he plays the little elf in Fred Claus. If you've ever seen that.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Fred Claus is Vince Vaughn is Santa Claus's brother. Yeah.
I remember seeing previews of that when that came out.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean her character, I guess again because you hadn't read the book, so you don't have a lot of context, and it's just I think that she is a good character to have just purely for you to be able to see the juxtaposition between capital life and
you also said
life.
That she isn't actually wasn't a citizen of District 12.
I said that. I think I remember her originally being from a district, and later on in life she moved to the capital. Let me check real quick. Oh, so no, I'm wrong. She maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of another capital person who shows up in the later films.
So she is actually a citizen?
I think she is, yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
For some reason, I just remembered her not, like, at one point saying, like, I came from, like, District 3 or something, but it may have been a different character.
Is Elizabeth Banks in the other movies?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Is Woody Harrelson in the other movies?
Yes.
Okay. Is Thor's little brother? Yes, I already know that. I looked that part up. But
so yeah, I don't really have much of anything else to say about this movie.
Man, I really don't want to like end on me just shitting the movie. If you like, I guess we'll call them the young adult novels. Really, is what's probably aimed towards.
That's what it's classified as. Yeah.
Okay, and the only reason I know what young adult is because I was in a library earlier today.
And I mean, it's very much like you talked about. We kind of talked about earlier. It falls under that young adult novel based in a dystopian society type setting. But I think out of the ones that have been popularized into like made into films and become popular, I think it's the best one of that category. Yeah. I should say
this movie might have hit different for me if I was younger when I watched it. I'm a 34-year-old man watching it, and this movie would have came out when I was 24, and I still wouldn't have been interested in the story.
I mean, this film came out when I was 20 years old, and I loved it. Yeah. So I guess maybe I was the right age for it. I don't know, but
and that's why we do the podcast, though. Like, we have we have a lot of things in common, but the media, there's a big cutoff between me and you.
And Owen was still in diapers at the time, so
fuck, dude. That book came out in 2008. He would have been 12 years old when this movie came out. Because this movie came out in 2012. Mm-hmm. He was born in 2000.
I always forget he was born in 2000.
Dude, I swear, I think like, man, where the fuck did I find him?
But rest in peace, our Mississippi Queen.
Where do you get the Mississippi Queen thing from?
It's a song. Mississippi Queen. You know what I need. You never heard that song?
No, you don't have to play it.
I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna look up who it's by.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who actually. Mississippi Queen. You know what I am. It's performed by the band Mountain.
Okay. What year did it come out?
1970.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The only reason I know this song is because I think it was in like Rock Band or Guitar Hero or something.
Gotcha.
So it was one of my favorite songs I actually play in those. But anyway, so would you recommend this movie or not?
I'm gonna get off the ledge. I don't recommend the movie because I usually say, well, it's a good one-watch movie. If you like it, you like it. I could easily say, if you're of the age group that would be interested in it, like teenagers to, it also has to be like it hits different if it came out when you were younger.
Does it hit different like WWE 2K22?
It hits different than WWE does than AEW. Which I like AEW more now. Anyway, I could easily say like those people would like the movie, but I think it's more interesting if I just take a stance instead of doing my hokey pokey shit I normally do. And I have to say, I don't recommend it. And just for controversial sake, I will say it's probably the third worst movie we watched. For me, this was my opinion. Obviously. Yeah. It's
I think you're forgetting some of the movies we've watched.
No, I don't think. I think you're forgetting Charlie Chocolate Factory.
Like Freddy Got Fingered.
That movie was enjoyable. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the. Look, Daddy, I'm a farmer. He's jerking the cow off. Or look, Daddy, I'm swimming for treasure, and he's got his face in a fishbowl, not a fishbowl, a toilet bowl, and stupid shit like that. And then the horse jizzes all over him. Mm-hmm. It's fucking stupid. Yeah. The movie's got some funny ass fucking moments. Daddy, would you like some sausages?
Daddy, would you like some sausages?
So, like, it's stupid. As from a movie perspective, this movie is leagues above better than Freddy Got Fingered. From enjoyable, I'm not doing this from a. I mean, I have like
a personal preference. Like the quality.
If I had to watch between the two again, I'd watch Freddy Got Fingered.
Right.
Just because the movie's stupid as shit, and I can quote it though.
Well,
there's nothing quotable about this movie.
I think that comes as no surprise. I do recommend this film. I do think that it is pretty good. It's got some heavy themes, which I enjoy movies like that. It carry some kind of a weight to them.
It's got heavy things because it's got dead weight characters that are easily forgettable. Oh God!
But I don't know now because I was hoping that this film would grab you a little bit and we could do the rest of them. I don't mind doing it. I don't know now that I want to do the rest of them because of that.
No, I mean I would be interested to see my opinion changes.
Right.
But just because my opinion is not, positive towards this movie doesn't mean you have to feel any different or feel less than because of the movie. Because that's the thing I've taken to heart, especially over the 2 years, and I finally got through that. If you don't like a movie I picked, then it's your loss is the way I look at it. I used to be like, fuck, it just makes me feel stupid because I picked a stupid movie and it's not super deep and shit like that. Who the fuck cares?
I mean, it doesn't have to be super deep. I don't care about
No, I'm talking about like super, like if
Right.
something I do like it feels like super deep, and I hear you or I read somewhere else or someone describes it. Yeah, that scene was really campy. And I'm like, what does campy even mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that like bothered me. I don't want you to feel that way.
I'm sure
it just didn't grab me.
I'm sure Owen hates it when we both team up and we're like, this movie sucks.
Well, Owen's more intellectual than I would say both of us. I mean, you're smart.
Owen definitely picks movies that are more like artsy type movies.
And he has picked Stanley Kubrick, which, you know,
you hear that, Owen?
Ugh. But, you know, Come and See, which was a surprising movie for me.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And, you know, other thing, but like this movie right here, it just didn't hit me. And, you know, for me, growing up, I was a little bit into Harry Potter. I got through the first 2 books. Didn't read the rest of them, didn't care. But my childhood was a growing love of pro football, Mortal Kombat, Star Wars, Godzilla movies. So I have a type, and this movie just wasn't it.
Right.
And that's just the only thing for me. I don't want you to feel like, oh man, he's fucking always pissing on my stuff. Like, no, he just picked weird Johnny Depp shit too.
I've only picked one Johnny Depp movie.
I know. And you picked the worst one. One of these days you're gonna pick Alice in the Wonderland and be like, oh god.
I will probably pick that one day, but I wouldn't say that.
I'm still waiting for somebody to pick Cat in the Hat.
That'll be Owen picking that. I hate that movie. I did the Grinch. That was my Dr. Seuss. Okay,
that was a very good movie too. What? Hold on. That thing when he's getting the echo, he goes, "You're an idiot.
You're an idiot." No, he's like, I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
He's hiding up in the roof like a spider, and then he drops down thinking she's left, and they look at each other. He's like, ah! Oh god,
that is a good.
We need to rewatch that movie. I just need to watch
God.
it when Christmas time comes around. Because Jim Carrey is. Well, I just watched Funding with Dick and Jane with some. God damn it, Brittany. And she'd never seen it before, and she was laughing her ass off just because of Jim Carrey's facial reactions. That movie's like just solid, but he makes it so much better.
Oh yeah.
And that one lady, I can't remember her name. God bless her, the actress. She's hilarious, and she reminds me of my Aunt Teresa. The way she talks, she has this kind of really deep voice, but it's like a deep, almost Southern voice, and it sounds like my Aunt Teresa.
Yeah,
it's hilarious to me, and yeah, it's just. But yeah, going back to Hunger Games, I'd give it 1 and. I'd give it 1. Well, I'm trying to come up with some like really impossible number. I'd give it 1 and 2/8 of a star. On a 5-star thing? So you mean 1 1/4? No, 2/8. Let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Do you find it when someone rates a movie 4.5 stars, 4 3/4 a star, 4 1/4 a star? Do you find that kind of stupid?
It depends. I think that for the rating to mean anything, you have to establish what your rating means.
Yes.
Like, for example, when I use Letterboxd, right?
Yeah, so does Alex.
And it's on a 5-star scale.
Yeah.
So in my mind, 5 is excellent, 4 is good, 3 is okay, 2 is bad, and 1 is terrible. Mm-hmm. So, and sometimes if I can't decide between one or the other, that's when I'll put a 1/2 star because it'll be like sort of in between.
But also, don't you think you should just like pick a side of the fence? It's almost like sinning in a way. Like if a movie's good enough to be greater than 4.5 stars,
well, then it would make my ranking of all the Marvel movies on there difficult because then it'd be like, well, now I have a bunch of 3-star movies and I gotta figure out where.
Well,
to put them.
Be quite honest with you,
there's a lot of them that are just 3-star movies.
I mean, god damn it. 3 times I've done it. Make sure you cut that out. Brittany's watched them, and there's not one Marvel movie that she feels like she wants to watch again.
That's crazy to me.
It's just not her cup of tea. She enjoys watching them, and
right.
I feel the way she is. Like, this is the first time I watched Avengers Endgame because I saw it in theater. It's not because it's a bad movie. I like it. But you have to have the setup.
Right.
We and her watched 20 movies to get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, but even if you take that away from it,
It's
you
hard
still,
to...
you still got stuff like, well, I guess Thor Ragnarok, you kind of need some kind of prior knowledge.
That's the connective universe. Once it's gotten so big now, you have the issue. Because I would love to have my parents.
That's why I like. Moon Knight wasn't the best show ever, but it was very much like this show stands. I found it very
interesting.
Yeah, and it stands on its own. You don't need to know anything else about the MCU. You can go into that show and watch it without relying on other characters. And that's sort of the thing that bothered me about the first two Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. Like, I like those movies, but the first one's like, okay, Iron Man plays a major role in this. And then the second one, even, Iron Man's gone, but it's like he's still kind of affecting the story. And it's like, that's why I love No Way Home, because Doctor Strange is in it, but it's basically just so you can set up, like, for long-time Spider-Man film fans like us, it's like, okay, now it's Spider-Man,
yes. And the thing that bothered me about the Marvel Spider-Man movies, and they're good. They're good movies. I don't have the desire to rewatch them as I did with the Tobey Maguire movies. And that's just because I grew up with them. Obviously, someone's going to feel differently. But they say, okay, we're not going to tell his origin story anymore with Uncle Ben. You don't have to worry about Uncle Ben dying. So Uncle Ben's already died off camera, but he literally went through the same character progressions throughout these movies, just with Iron Man being his Uncle Ben. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, it's like, well, we just saw his origin story. He just had the great responsibility line given to him in No Way Home. It's like, well, you kind of already did that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, it's like, I get it, you play it differently and stuff like that, but I don't know, there's just some things about Marvel, like, I've watched No Way Home. I don't think the Marvel movies are as rewatchable as the DC movies that I like. To be honest with you, like I love watching the Dark Knight movies. Yeah, I'm a fan of Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. I like Batman vs Superman. I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I've only watched it twice, but the Batman was, pretty. It was good, but to average. So that's why I shit on that movie so much. It was my own movie, but the Marvel movies, it's like there's just so much to it, and I would love for my mom and my stepdad and my dad to watch them. But how can I get them to sit down once a weekend, 2 different households, obviously, and watch a movie for 20 straight weekends?
Right. Yeah.
Older people aren't going to have that, and there's not a video that's super cut to show them everything that's happening for them to feel the emotional impact you get from Endgame. Yeah. Endgame's the fucking perfect bow to that whole thing, and obviously it's going to keep going until the movies collapse in on themselves with the multiverse war that's going to happen, and then they're going to start back from ground zero. Yeah, but other than that, so, and like I said, this Divergent. See, I don't know why I remember that. The Hunger Games, the games of Hungry Hippos. I am interested to see where it goes, to see if my opinion will change, and that's kind of how. And when I compared it to Twilight, that's kind of how I felt after watching the first Twilight. I'm like, well, let's just see if it gets any better. Yeah. And then my heart was broken when I saw that the most badass character of the Underworld movies, Lucian, Michael Sheen, played in Twilight as a fucking vampire. I'm like, oh, you're in this too? And they're literally only cast him in it because he was in Underworld movies.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was in it, to be honest.
He's the main one of the Vampire Council at the end, the one with the long hair. It's like, oh, that's Michael Sheen. That's Lucian from the Underworld movies, Underworld 1 and Underworld.
Lucian's the old guy, right? The one that Kate Beckinsale's character goes and wakes up like, hey,
no, he's the werewolf.
Oh,
he's Lucian's the main Lycan.
Right? Yeah, I got you.
And he's the first of the second generations of Lycans that could turn back into humans. William was the original Lycan, the white werewolf that once he bit you, you turned into a werewolf and never came back.
Lucian's the one that
he was born of 2 werewolves as a human baby.
He fell in love with the vampire in the past or whatever.
Yeah, right? And that's Underworld Evolution. Not Evolution.
No, Underworld. The third one, isn't it Awakening or something like that?
No, that's the 4th one. Hold on. Rise of the Lycans.
Rise of the Lycans. Yeah.
So, but yeah, Michael Sheen is awesome as Lucian. I love that character, and it's just funny because him and Kate Beckinsale had been dating for 10 years in real life. They actually had a daughter together, and they broke up in the middle of that movie, and then she ended up marrying the director of Underworld. And he was the producer of the third Underworld movie, but he wasn't super involved.
Mm-hmm.
But in part 2, you probably don't remember this, but in part 2, they have that scene where they unzip the Victor's body to get that key out. That's supposed to be a key to William's tomb. That's like in his body.
Yeah.
And there's a necklace that Lucien is wearing, and they unzip the body bag. They show it from chin down. They don't show his face because Michael Sheen he wasn't there for that scene.
Right.
So I guess it got a little awkward or whatever. But so it's just kind of like that. And I just thought when I saw him in Twilight, I'm like, oh god, he's such a badass. Don't be in this fucking movie. So and lichens are way better than vampires. So.
But yeah, I think we will do Catching Fire for my next movie. Something I want to address on here because I don't think we've addressed it yet. The Willy Wonka episode that we recorded it. It was like a 2.5 hour recording, and there were audio issues. So
there was a pay dispute. Cody wouldn't give us the money, so we're pulling the episode.
there were audio issues that were too severe to overlook, so the whole episode was scrapped. We will re-record it sometime in the future, but it's just one of those things. Like I've got to have that.
We don't want to shortchange the episode.
Yeah, and
because that was a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode, and that's a great movie, and I want to have that passion to discuss it again before we do it, because I don't want to just rush into it and be like, all right, well, we redid it, we'll put it out.
Because we've done that a couple times on my episodes. We had to re-record something. It's like, let's just get this out of the way. And I've had that attitude too. Yeah. And that's a great movie. Now, if this was like, oh man, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory audio got trashed, I'm like, let's go ahead and rush through it. It's fine. Yeah. But yeah, we'll eventually get that re-recorded at some point when we have more passion.
Yeah, Catching Fire will be my next movie. Lance, do you know what your next movie is going to be?
Yeah, we're back on the rotation, correct?
Yes, we are back on the rotation.
Hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks, Owen will have
hopefully, internet. Yeah. If not, we'll just have to skip Owen over and then go to mine.
Okay. Well, the movie I think I mentioned on the last episode, and I just rewatched it with Savannah, and fourth time rewatched it with Brittany, and I don't regret choosing this movie. It's going to be Russell Crowe in Cinderella Man, which is a boxing movie based in the Great Depression. And boxing is the backdrop to the story that's being played out. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking awesome story. You've watched it one time, you won't remember much of it. Cause
yeah, I don't remember.
You were getting up and doing a lot of chores around the house, so we watched it that one time, and you kind of missed the ending. And like I said, Brittany doesn't like those type of movies whatsoever. And the movie had her hooked in it for 20 minutes. And it's like a 2 hour and 15 minute movie. And it had her just like hooked. And it's awesome when you have somebody that loves like the teenage love stories and love story movies and all that crap that she watches. No offense, darling. I know she's listening. And she watches this movie and she really likes it. It's like, I fucking did. I told her there's like only one movie that we watched that she didn't really like. And it was Commando. She didn't like Commando. She didn't think it was funny. I'm like, stupid. Why are we dating? Our relationship's over. And then I got off the toilet and I told her, sweetie, would you like another drink? And then I laid down and I swallowed my hurt.
And you waited for the sweet, sweet embrace of the eternal sleep to
I hope so.
Grasp you.
And I was almost there. And then she started snoring. So it was a very non-relaxed sleep that night. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. All of a sudden, she goes, woo! I'm like, what the hell?
And you look over, she's doing the Ric Flair strut in her sleep.
Woo! Like, she's never even watched wrestling. But yeah, the next movie we do in 2 weeks will be Cinderella Man.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it.
Well, I guess we go ahead and unveil our new ad. Scrubbing Bubbles.
Scrubbing Bubbles
is sponsoring this episode because they tell us to clean up our language. So, use Scrubbing Bubbles on your bathtub, your car, your child. It will clean up everything.
If they curse, spray some of the Scrubble Bubbles right on in there.
On their tongue, yeah.
It'll clean it right up.
And it will suds up, and, you'll be, a bad parent. So,
Yeah,
a bad car owner.
A terrible parent. Likely get arrested for something like that.
You probably could, but you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah,
You know?
I suppose so.
Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching this episode of Dragon Ball Z. Wait, that's the wrong outro. What's this show again? Okay.
Filmoscopy.
Of something's in my ass.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening. And if you've listened this far, you've got serious issues.